me for passcode, and I can't remember you gave me any passcode. Okay, have we been able to find any what do you call it, direct and indirect speech, or we should go back to our last week's, continue from last week? And nobody here is from last week, are we? So let's continue with Zain. All right, Zain. Are you now clear with the direct and indirect speech?
Yes.
Okay, give me one example of your own. You make one short sentence and put it in direct speech and indirect speech. Let me hear you so that I can know that, yes, you really got it.
For direct speech, we can use Adam
just
said that I am going to Saudi Arabia,
so
and for
that in
and
that case,
for
in that
indirect
case,
for
in that
for
case, you don't.
indirect we can use we can use Adam tell me that he is going to Saudi Arabia.
Adam said he will be going to Saudi Arabia. So in the first one, you don't use that. You don't use that. The word that is not there. Adam said, I am going to Saudi Arabia.
Adam. Oh, okay.
You get the idea? You don't say Adam said. When you say Adam said that, you're already converting it to indirect speech. So Adam said that. Adam said that he is going to Saudi Arabia. You get the difference. So this one you are not using I, because you are reporting Adam. You are not quoting him. You get the point. Direct speech.
Yes.
You're quoting somebody. You know what quoting means? I am repeating what you say exactly. That is quoting.
Repeating the words of somebody.
Somebody exactly, directly what he said. That is quoting. So if you are repeating what I said, and then you say, okay, Adam said. So that means you are quoting me. That is direct speech. So if it is indirect, that means you are telling somebody about what I said in your own words, not quoting. Then you will say, Adam said that he will do this. Adam said that he is going to do that. But when you say, I am going to do this, Adam said. So that is direct. The other one is indirect. So last week we discussed of house care.
Assalamualaikum, Mr. Adam. Can I add some question here?
Please, feel free. Feel free.
Yeah. Can we relate direct indirect with the active and passive?
Sorry? Active and passive.
Passive, yeah. There are some sentences.
Yeah.
Called as active sentences and passive. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are using direct speech, that is active.
Okay.
Indirect speech is passive.
So these are the correlated?
Yeah, they are correlated. They are correlated to some extent. Because if you look at passive sentences, you are actually reporting what has already happened. And active sentences, you are talking about what is still in existence. If I want to say, he had written the book before he went to university. So you are using had written. So this is passive. But if I say he is going to university and he is writing a book, this is active.
Okay. So the event which already happened.
Yeah, is a past already. And then
so we can say it is passive or indirect.
Yes. Yeah, it is passive or indirect as well. It can be related to indirect, because anytime you have to report it as indirect. You have to report it as it happened, not that you are a witness to it.
Okay.
Uh-huh. If that is clear, and if there is any other confusion, you can raise it. Then we will try to clarify it.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
not directly related, but they are co-related, just like you said.
Okay.
They are very similar. Active and passive are very similar.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other question to come before? Although I wanted to uh, recommend one thing last week, that by the time we come to another class, I think I did say it, that everyone should read something and come back with some question. Okay, I have read a newspaper, or I've read a book, or have listened to news, English news. These are things that I want us to do regularly. If we want to improve our English, we need to listen to English news, listen to English conversation, standard English conversation, and you can read some newspaper or certain book. Pick words that you do not understand, and then bring those words to the class so that we can discuss. Then I will know how much you are developing your English. Then we will try to put other things together, because as time goes on, I will have to maybe create some slides that I will share on the screen, and we will be discussing them in the class. Especially, we are going to talk about words that have similar sound but different meanings, and we will talk about words that have different sounds but the same meaning, and then we'll try to find words that are different but mean the same thing. That is synonyms. If we say synonyms, different words that mean the same thing. And we say antonyms, we'll find the opposites to a word. And then we'll talk about homonyms. That is the one that I said they have same pronunciation but different meaning. If I say tomorrow afternoon, where will you be? And then if I say, where can I find bees? So you can hear bee, bee, but they are two different things entirely. You get my point?
Yes. So in one B is only BE and the second B is B double E.
B double E. Thank you. But the sound is the same.
Sound is the same. Okay.
So the sound is the same, but different words. Sometimes you will find, if I say, fish are found in the sea, but we use our eyes to see.
So in first there is a
SEANS double E.
Double E. So you see, the sound is the same, but the meaning differ.
Yeah, and they're like pairs of words.
Uh-huh. So if I say, you can bear with me, right? And I say, he drinks beer. You hear the two words sound the
Yeah,
same,
beer.
yeah.
but the meanings are different. You can bear with me means you can tolerate me. You can be
Yeah,
patient with me.
patience, tolerate. And the other one means to drink.
Beer, that is alcohol. So, so these are the kind of words I want us to build on while we try to develop our vocabulary. Because I can see now that most of us here now are people that really want to develop their vocabularies, not the people that are learning everyday English anymore. The earlier people that came in the first class that was very interesting, most of them don't have the time to come around at the moment. Or maybe the time is not favorable for them. I'm not sure. So in this case, we can do our register proper because Zain is good to go. And I can see that who is the other brother? Salman, right?
Yes.
And Salman, at least with the questions you have asked, it makes me happy that yes, we have people that really want to improve on it. Last week, I don't know if Zain was not here last week, right?
Yeah, I've been giving exams of my school. I was busy.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. How was the exam? I wish you all the best.
Yeah, I gave three of the exams, and due to coronavirus, due to coronavirus, the holidays are
Uh-oh, so the
you
schools are
know
closed.
schools have closed.
Oh, goodness. Sorry about that, man. Okay, last week we were talking about house care. I don't know if Salman was here last week.
Sorry, I also missed the last class because the time
Okay,
has been changed.
okay. Yeah. I remember we changed the timing because of the situation we had.
Yeah, the last class
We
was
had to,
at 6:30, 6 p.m. So I was
yes,
also confused.
yeah. Actually, the whole fault is mine because I had some other meeting from my office that day, and I didn't want to cancel the class because I've already, but unfortunately, I should have canceled it and shifted it to the next day, but I didn't. Actually,
No, no, you have not to blame yourself. It's okay.
of course, I have to blame myself because I promised and I changed because I didn't want to miss the class and I changed the time. If I had maybe shifted it to the next day, maybe we could have had more people because the time is what matters. Actually, last week, what we did was we decided to choose what we call register in English. So we decided to talk about house care, how to taking care of your own house, so that we can find the words that associated with house care. So last week we treated house care outside the house. You have your house, you have outside, you have inside, right?
All
So
right.
then we decided to talk about the things outside the house. So in that case, we talked about grass, we talked about flowers, we talked about weed, right? We talked about windows, we talked about moles, we talked about beehives. So which of the words do you remember as if you are taking care of your house, for instance? Which of the words do you remember vividly? You know what a mole is? Do we know what a mole is?
What?
Mole, M-O-L-E. Then are you doing science?
Yes.
You are doing science. So when I say mole here, I don't mean molecule.
No, no. Mole, mole.
So mole. Okay, if you are talking inside the compound, you have what we call. I'm trying to find light because my light is gone off. When we talk about mole inside the compound, you know there are sometimes some small sand dune
Atoms.
will grow. Some small sand dune will grow, made by ants. Some ants will dig and make a small sand hill like that. That is called a mole. We call it mole hill. Okay, let's forget about that. But you know grass, right? You know mowing machine.
Yeah, yeah,
Mowing machine, the machine you use to cut grass, to level the grass.
yeah. I've seen it.
It is called a mower. Mower,
Actually,
Mower.
actually, I live in a village, so there are no anymore grass. Like,
Yeah, for
you know,
the compound. Yeah, I understand your point. So
it's
if we
in
look,
grass is most in a city or parks, but
yeah, but even
in village there are no parks or something like that.
that notwithstanding, but you have your own form of grass in the village, don't you? You have grass also, but in the
No, but
village it will be bush. It will be called bush.
yeah, yeah, bushes and herbs.
so so they call them herbs and shrubs.
Yeah, shrubs, herbs, and bushes,
Uh-huh.
etc.
Uh-huh. So that is the difference between the village and the parks. So if you are in the village, that means if we are talking of house care in the village, you are talking about uh, herbs and shrubs and then bushes. So in this case, we are not talking about grass. So in the village, if you have to cut the grass, you have to use what? Cutlass, right?
Yeah,
When you use mower in the city, you use cutlass in the village. So when you use vacuum in the city, you use brooms and rakes in the village, depending on what you want to do,
mm,
right? So, okay, if
yeah,
we are
okay.
talking of house care now, if we are talking of inside the house, what are the things you see inside the house? To start with, we need to look at the items that we have inside the house before we start talking about taking care of them.
Bed, uh,
First, first,
television.
you're talking of bed, television, you will have radio, right?
Yeah, radio, washing machine,
Washing machine, good. You'll have what?
microwave oven,
Microwave oven, uh-huh. And then you
etc.
will have
Something.
you will
Yeah,
have the chairs,
home accessories.
and then you have sofa. So these will be, some will fall under furniture. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
furniture, fan, air
Uh-huh.
condition, AC,
Uh-huh.
heater.
AC is not part of the furniture. AC
No,
and
no, no,
heater,
no. Not a part of furniture.
uh-huh. Those ones are, there is what we call HVAC. So we'll discuss that one separately. So, but those are items you find in the house. But what we want to do is, how do we use the words around those items, the words that are used in English when we talk about the house items inside the house, right? What do you do with the television. Like you watch the television, right?
Hmm.
Or you watch movies on television, or you watch news on the
Okay.
television, you watch this or that on the television, you watch, right? So when you want to start the television, what do you do?
Switch on the button.
God bless you, mashallah. That's what I want to hear. You switch on the television to watch the news, right? You switch on the
Yeah,
television to
it's
watch the
usual.
movie. Hmm? So these are the kind of things we want to learn in our class. How to use the words to describe the things in the house so that we speak proper English, the correct words to use when we discuss uh, things in the house. So if I say, how do you wash your clothes? So how will you
Uh,
tell me? How will you answer the question? Referring to the home implements that you will use. So now I ask you, how do you wash your clothes?
Hmm.
So I expect you to say,
Hmm.
I use the washing machine.
yeah, washing machine and
No,
water and
you don't
washing
just say
powder.
you don't just say washing machine. No. How do you wash your clothes? I use the washing machine. That is the English, proper English. If
Mr.
we are
Adam,
Yeah, okay.
discussing, yes, sir.
can I answer it like that? Can I wash my clothes in washing machine?
With washing machine. I use the washing machine. If I ask you, how do you
Hmm.
wash your clothes in your home?
Hmm.
Then you can
So
say, I use the washing machine
to wash my clothes.
to wash my clothes. That is one. If you want to tell me about Zain, you
Mm-hmm.
will say, he uses the washing machine. It has become first person singular.
Of a singular. Okay.
So you have to say, he uses, she uses, but I use, you use, they use, we use. So we don't say we uses. No. I use, he uses. So when
Mm,
it goes to the first person, then the expression changes.
got it.
Uh-huh. So these are simple everyday English that I have noticed that
Mm,
our people really need to know. Some people use words like people that doesn't. No, that is wrong. When you have to say people, it becomes plural. Then whatever
Then people
verb,
do not know
people do not know, people do not, or people don't. If you are using the slang, people don't.
because people is a plural.
Yes. And if you are using like I or we or they or you, then it has to be don't or do not. If it has to be
Okay.
he or she or it, then it becomes he does not or he
Does not,
doesn't.
doesn't.
Does not or doesn't if you want to use the slang. If you have to write official thing, you have to write does not. So these are the everyday English we need to be taking note of. So now you have a remote control for your television, right? You have a smoke detector in the house also. Even though you want to tell me that you are in the village, even in the village we can use smoke detectors. You hear that, Zain?
Yeah.
So don't worry. So I can ask you, how often do you change the batteries of the remote control? How often? What is often here? The time interval between one
Often
change
means seldom.
and the next.
Seldom.
Yeah, seldom. That is synonym. You have got a synonym for often. So
Yeah.
it it simply means the time between one change and the next change. How long does it take? You get the point. When you are talking of often, it is the interval between one change and another, and the next, and
Yeah.
the next. So maybe if you want to answer this, you will have to say maybe twice a month, or once in 2 months, once in 3 months, or you can say every 6 months. You have seen the different ways of answering such question. You can say once in 6 months or every 6 months. You get the point now.
Mr. Adam, the
Yes.
pronunciation of often and often.
Aha, that is an excellent question, Salman. You
Mm,
see, in real sense, I deliberately pronounced it often so that you know that there is a T there.
mm,
But in reality, the T is silent. So normally you will
Yeah.
say often.
Often.
You will say often. It's just like listening, right?
got it.
If I tell you listen, you hear how I pronounced it?
Listen,
Listen,
without
listen.
T.
But there is a T there. So if you have to make somebody understand how it actually is spelled, you will say listen. It is written listen, but it is pronounced listen.
Got it.
Then look at words like uh, comb. I know Indians use a lot of comb because we've got plenty hair.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So that comb, it is spelled COMB,
B.
but the sound of B does not come out.
Mm, okay.
I am combing my hair.
Mm,
Ordinarily, you are supposed to say combing, right? Because there is a B,
mm,
but you don't pronounce the B. You have to say, I'm combing my hair.
correct.
It's the same thing as bomb.
Mm. The last B is not pronounced.
It's not pronounced.
Mm,
Somebody who a, an aeroplane that uses bomb is what is it called? Bomber. So you don't call it bomber.
mm,
Even though B is there, it is silent. You say bomber.
yeah.
So what do you call the person that fixes pipe water? The
Plumber.
technician. The technician that deals with water is called what?
It's called
Plumber.
plumber.
Plumber. So also that B is silent. So you have to
Mm,
say plumber.
plumber. Plumber. Yeah.
So it's plumber, not plumber.
Not plumber. Plumber. Got it.
This should
Yeah.
be pronounced plumber. So you
What
see,
What about utensil, which used in houses? Utensil or utensil? U T
utensil,
utensil.
utensil. Yeah, you don't say utensil. No.
Utensil.
Anytime you say, or anytime the sound "il" come in,
Mm,
that means there is most likely an E in the front. But there are situations where even if the E is there, you don't make it, you don't make that I sound. You say right when you're talking about writing, right?
Yes.
But you don't say favorite.
Mm,
You get the point. You'll say favorite.
favorite.
So there are some rules to spelling those words. Like when you have IE, for instance, receive, retrieve, review. These are words that come with I and E, right?
Is yeah, I and E together.
So there is a spelling rule that maybe I learned many, many, many years ago when I was in kindergarten or maybe when I was in second
Mm,
grade.
mm,
But it stuck in my head. I never forgot it.
mashallah.
And it says, and till today, I still use it.
Mm,
The rule says I before E except after C. You get that word? I before E except after C. So that means anywhere, anytime you have view, relief, believe, achieve, you know it's coming with IE.
yes.
So all of them will come when you are writing, it will be the I before the E. If you are writing achieve, it will be I before the E. If you are writing relieve, it is I before the E.
Or E.
But
Correct.
when you say receive, now it's coming after C. So that
Coming.
time, E before the I. That is what the exemption means. Exception means.
Mm,
I before the E except after C. If it is coming after C, then it becomes E before I. You get the difference?
got it. Got it. If
Uh,
there is a C,
uh
so it's E.
E before the I. So take
E
note of
before.
that. I
E before.
before E except after C.
Mm,
Once it comes after C, then it becomes E before the I. So that is the rule of that
rule of
spelling.
spelling.
Yes.
Mm,
So today we didn't have time to do much, and I took your time by taking 5 or 10 minutes out of it, although we have
It's
compensated for it. So now
it's
I know
okay.
at least the standard that we are going to maintain by next week. So
Inshallah.
what I want us to do before next week, Brother Salman, is
Mm,
try to read something.
correct.
That is the fastest way to develop words in English.
Mm,
If you see any book at all, try to read. When you read, get what you understand, and whatever you don't understand,
mm,
put put down the new words you have found there, so that
okay.
when you come to the class, we can discuss.
Got it. And
Listen, listen.
could you could you
Go
please
on.
recommend some books?
Hmm?
Could you please recommend some book which
Well,
can
the reality is, I don't know the kind of books that are available in your location, but
okay.
try to read the books with the simplest English language. If you have some children's book, school
Hmm.
books, it doesn't matter. You can read the children's readers. You know, the reader, the book that they give
Yep.
children, even
Yep.
the first, second, third graders, the books, the English books that they read, try to
Hmm.
find their comprehension under the topic comprehension or composition.
Yes.
Normally, under those, they tell stories about some animals, about some
Hmm.
boys from some village or some families stories. So those are the kind of things I want us to read.
Okay.
So if you read through things like that, or if you find an English newspaper, choose a
Yes.
particular news and
Mm.
read. But don't read randomly. If you want to learn, don't just
Okay.
read randomly first.
Mm.
Choose one particular column, read.
Okay.
If you don't understand what is talking about, leave that one. Look for another column. Whatever you read in the newspaper that you understand the story that is talking about, then you can read and then see how the sentences are arranged, how the structures of the sentences are, and then you find how they use the words. Whatever words you don't understand how it is used, or whatever sentence you feel maybe this sentence is not correct to you, you just think about it. Ah, no, this sentence, something is wrong in this sentence. Then
Yes.
note it. If you
Mm.
are not happy with the sentence or you are not comfortable with the sentence, take note
Mm.
of it. And then in our
Okay.
next class, let's discuss it. Then you should be able to tell me, I read a book or I read a
Mm.
newspaper column and the
Mm.
sentence is like this. I think the sentence talks about this and this is how
Mm.
it is structured. And I feel that this one is wrong. Then I will tell you whether it is wrong or not. And if it is wrong, then we will try to correct it. and then
Understood.
and
Okay.
then you listen to some English radio, or maybe if
Mm.
there are some English drama that
Yes.
is played near you, listen to how the people exchange, how they talk to each other, and pick some words, pick some sentences that you feel will be useful, and then let's talk about it. Because already you are speaking good English, I don't have any doubts about that, but you want to
You
develop.
mentioned.
That's why you are joining us here.
Yes.
You want
Yes.
to improve on what you have.
What you mentioned in your first lecture, where you
Yeah,
are, you have to be now on another
yeah.
other step.
That is it. So
Yes.
you need to take a step further than where you are.
Further.
So
Yes.
anytime that you are not thinking of moving further, then you will be stagnant. And sometimes if you remain stagnant, somebody will want to pull you back.
Yes.
So it's better to try to move forward. And whatever you think I do that you want to also do, let me know. And then I will tell you how to get there. It is
Understood.
not impossible.
Yes.
If it
Yes.
is impossible, I will not be there. So if human beings can get there,
Mm.
then certainly you can also get there. So always have it on your mind. If somebody can do it, then I why not me?
Why not? Yes.
What stops me from doing it? If somebody could achieve this much, why
Mm.
not me?
Correct,
So
Mr.
those are
Rao.
the kind of challenges we need to be
Mm.
giving ourselves. I want to develop. How do I develop? It's not
Mm.
about just aspiration. You need to put in efforts.
Correct.
Uh, Zain has disappeared. Maybe he's
No,
still doing business.
I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
Okay, I thought you have gone for some business.
I think
I can
our
hear.
time is
Yeah,
running out. So can
running out.
we
Yeah, it
conclude the
has run
session?
out. It has
Yeah.
run out, so we can conclude the session. I have already given them what I want us to do. By next week,
Yeah.
we are going to discuss. Everyone will have to go and read something, and then listen to some news or get some words,
So
and then
and brother,
come here
yes.
next week with some questions so that we can start discussing the question before we go to the next register.
Okay. And we would like to express our thank you for your kindness, because even though you are busy, you went out for a few minutes and you came back. It is amazing thing. And our participants, mashallah, today's participants, really they are very they are very patient, because even you gone, you come back till they were there
Honestly,
and they didn't disappear.
honestly, I was surprised. They didn't go. They waited.
Yeah,
Mashallah, I
they
really remain
waited,
grateful.
and and even though they are very less numbers, they are all, they are all interact with us. That's a very
Participating,
important.
yeah, that is my joy.
Participating.
They
Yeah.
participate, they ask question, they give
Yeah,
me,
even one or two
and that's,
also, or three also, whoever just to open mouth and say something and get something.
I
This
don't
is the
mind to be having these two people every day for the next 12 weeks or 10 weeks until we finish. If it is two of them, at least I know we have certain level that we are maintaining, and then we can continue from there.
yeah, we do like that. When we promise, we are
If
there to assist them.
if these two brothers, if brother Salman and Zain will be here next week,
And other
I will learn.
doctor is
I
there.
want them to come with some questions, so we
Dr.
discuss.
Yesse Muhammad Rafiq also there, mashallah. He's also from the beginning till now. I think
MashaAllah.
he didn't interact with us, right?
Yeah, today he didn't talk at all. He's only
But
listening.
he's a good listener, I think. He's listening. And
Yes.
our brother Muhammad Irshad is here.
Yeah, I know. But Irshad is hardly talking. He's only chips in.
Yeah,
He only chips in little at a time. But
yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I know he's
He's a good
also,
observer, and he's a good
yes.
observer, and he's always there
And
with us to support
in
us.
fact, in
And
fact, he baffles me.
whoever those people, those registered, every day they send the message of registration. We registered them.
You
The
know,
interest, I don't know.
it's
Yeah,
not
this is
about interest, brother. You have to understand one thing. It's not about interest alone. They have the interest. Sometimes the timing is not favorable. Sometimes
yeah,
they get carried away with some other family issues. You have to give them
yeah.
excuses. Everyone has challenges. We are all humans,
Yeah,
and we have to
that's
understand
you
that.
are exactly right, brother. That's what we are when we promised our timings. So we are
Uh-huh,
always there on timing. So whoever can
uh-huh.
come, whoever can without any hesitation, they can join, and we
Yes,
are there as alhamdulillah. So
inshallah, inshallah.
thank
We'll
you,
try
brother.
our
Thank you
best.
so much. Assalamu
Jazakumullah
alaikum.
khair. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. See you next week.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Zain. See you next week, inshallah.
Okay, see you next week. Okay, take care. Allah
Bye.
Hafiz.